Morning everyone. I'm out in the olive grove at the moment. Just to put this in, a short one, the Pope came to Lesbos yesterday. And I personally, I mean everyone has their own opinions on this, but I personally think he's done a fantastic job, and that's Pope Francis. He took 12 Syrians back with him, back into the Vatican. The Vatican, you know, is it's a country on its own, so he's allowed to. He invited 12. 12 were 3 families. There were 6 adults, 6 children. And the speeches he gave was fantastic. You know, as far as I'm concerned, everyone else has their own problems. And you know, I've been speaking to people this morning, and a lot of people think it was a fantastic visit. And we have the odd people saying, you know, he could have done a lot more and everything else. But the thing is, he's made the situation, you know, he's made people aware of what's going on. And that's what it's all about. And, you know, these 12 people, you know, fair play to them. They're going to have a great life, I know. And anyone that can give refugees a good life, you know, they're in my heart, you know. I will praise them up. Thank you very much for that one. You know, and it is nice because it shows, you know, what he thought about the Greeks and everything, and the Greek big heart and everything else, and that is fantastic. You know, the Greek people have done a terrific job here, and they deserve all the publicity, and they deserve all the praise, and the volunteers, all the volunteers that have come around the world. You know, in the last few weeks, because of the rhetoric coming out of Brussels and that. And because of Frontex and that, the right wing, I think they're winning and they're standing up, and you're getting a lot of people being beat up and abuse. We have these, you know, you have bad people in every country. You know, there is these awful bullies in every country, and Greece is no exception to that. But believe me, they're only very, very few. And at the moment, they're all standing up and screaming and shouting, which is not a bad thing at the end of the day, because at least we know who they are. You know, a lot of them, you know, people hide in that and they put things out, but now they're out on the streets and they think they've won and they're going to take over and everything else. But we know who these bullies are, and to all the volunteers and that, keep records, keep statements, and to Greek people, keep records and statements of these people. You know, because one day they will, you know, we'll get these people to justice, especially the ones that are really bad, beating up refugees and that. We've had incidences actually in camps and stuff, where, you know, there's one incident the other day where 5 officers beat up one man, broke his arm. You know, these will come to court. Things like that will get to court. So you have to keep records. You have to keep records of anything bad happening. And the same with the media. You know, we have a lot of media. Absolutely fantastic, believe me. I mean, I've had media alongside me rescuing women and children out of the sea and that. The media, I have a lot of friends with the media now. But then we have a few again, you know, like in every society, you always have that few. And these few are setting things up and twisting things the way they want them so they can make a living and everything else. And as I said in my video yesterday, you know, these things are in the media going on and things like that. You know, be very, very careful of some of these people. Be very, very careful for everyone, because these people twist it. They twist it the way they wanted it to sound. And they're doing Greece so much damage by doing this. You know, Greek people have a big heart. 99% of Greek people will help anyone. Yeah, and you have this 1% of awful people. Yeah, and they're doing so much damage to Greece. It's incredible. You know, Greece has gone through a lot in the last 8 years, a really lot, you know, and it's not the people's fault. You know, it was things that went on in the past regarding the economics and things like that. And, you know, and still the Greeks are still looking after starving people and everything else. They're showing their heart. And for all the bad stuff that went on in the past and all the rhetoric coming out of media throughout Europe, you know, what sort of people Greeks are, now the truth is coming out and people can see how nice the Greek people are and the big hearts. Only these few that are trying to ruin it for Greece. And these few, you know, the government should start clamping down on these few. They should start sorting it out, because now Greece is lifting. you know, and people around the world are seeing the big hearts, and when they see the big heart of a nation, people will come here on holiday. You know, they really will. Um, and that's the other thing, you know, anyone in Europe, anyone around the world, Jesus Christ, this is an amazing place, an absolutely amazing place. And when you have the Pope come here as well, and you know we have a major amount of famous people coming. They're coming to look at Lesbos and they're falling in love with Lesbos. Not just Lesbos, the whole of Greece. You know, it's an amazing place. The weather is incredible. The people are incredible. The food's fantastic. The scenery is just breathtaking. And the Greek people will help you. Believe me. You know, the thing is, when you get 1% being awful, it's the press that pick up on this 1%. But this 1% is in lots of countries. In a lot of countries, there's a lot more than 1%. But they just pick up on these few awful people. So just forget about them. Forget about them. You know, these people will be dealt with in the future, and we must keep records of these people and what they're doing and the violence and everything else and the way they're getting away with this and things like this. It all must be kept. And one day, they will be sorted. The justice will come. But for, you know, 99% of the Greek people are absolutely 100% fantastic. Absolutely 100%. And they have a massive heart. And they do deserve the Nobel Peace Prize. And the Greek people and everyone else, we know we need to get together and bring Greek out of everything. Let's make Greece a beautiful place. You know, let's make it back up there in the world again, which is happening now. It's just a few people trying to bring it back down again, you know, for their own agendas. I don't know what their agendas are, mostly financial. A lot of these things that this media is setting up in this is financial. Anyway, these people will be brought to justice one day. Okay, all the best everyone. Thanks a lot, and thanks Pope Francis, because, you know, all news like that is fantastic, you know, especially when you take, you know, suffering people away from a camp and then they're going to live in the Vatican. Fair play to you. All the best. Bye.